Hey guys, Dr. Luke Stringer from Advanced Health Chiropractic. I'm here with Suzanne, our patient care coordinator, and I want to discuss with you low back pain and how sitting is essentially the new smoking. Everyone saw the Time magazine cover in 2015 and the negative effects sitting has on us, and how sitting creates weakness and imbalance within the body, and that weakness and imbalance creates instability, and that instability creates stress and tension on the low back and essentially causes your low back pain. So essentially when you sit for a living, you're essentially not moving. Motion essentially is life. So when we're not using something, the body is extremely economical, and essentially we're not using something that says, okay, we don't need that, I'm going to shut it down. It's not going to expend energy and effort to essentially make sure all those vital structures are working. So the main things that we see that sitting causes is a weakness in our pelvic floor. Your pelvic floor sits between your pelvis and it acts like a sling. So when you are in a sitting position, the pelvic floor is essentially nice and relaxed. But when you go to move, the pelvic floor should engage. And when it engages, it supports your low back and your pelvis and it creates stable movement. However, when you sit for a living, this muscle or group of muscles becomes super weak. So when you go to move, it stays really slack. So what happens is the structures in your low back work far too hard, and that conversation breaks us down. We start getting low back pain. The second thing that happens is that corporate posture that we see, where we round down, and when we start to breathe, everything comes through our chest. Well, fortunately, in good posture, our diaphragm sits right here. It's like a cylinder in the car, and when we breathe through our diaphragm, it engages our pelvic floor, and that creates stability within your low back and your hips. Unfortunately, when we sit for a living, we have a redundant diaphragm and a redundant pelvic floor, and that is no good. So these are some really basic exercises you can do to address diaphragmatic breathing and good pelvic floor activation. So when we sit for a living and we get chest on, everything comes through our chest. And Suzanne's breathing through her chest right now. And as we discussed, our diaphragm sits right here, and when it's not used, we create that weak pelvic floor. So real basic exercise we're going to start with is some diaphragmatic breathing. You can do it sitting down in a chair, you can do it laying down at home in the gym. You're going to contact the bony points of your pelvis. Do that for me, Suzanne. And what we're going to try and do is we're going to not move our chest, and you're going to try and breathe through your belly button, and you're going to inflate your stomach. Imagine it's a beach ball, you want to inflate it. Now, you want to try and make these top fingers move up, and your thumb should move down. So essentially, the diaphragmatic breathing should be doing this. And I want you to do a set of 10. So Suzanne is now breathing through a diaphragm. So now we're going to progress. So Suzanne's going to breathe into a diaphragm. She's going to bring her chin onto her chest, and she's going to lift her shoulder blades off the floor. Good. Stay there for me, Suzanne. And she's going to breathe in through a diaphragm. And we're going to do another set of 10. And as long as you're doing this pain-free, the next progression is we're going to lift our legs straight, 2 inches off the floor. And she's going to breathe through another set of 10. And if you're really hardcore, you're going to bring your hands behind you. You're going to breathe into a diaphragm. You're going to bring your chin onto your chest. You're going to engage your feet. And then we're going to be able to rock. And you're going to shift that center of gravity and relax. So if you sit for a living, you're suffering with low back pain, good chance your diaphragm's not activating and your pelvic floor is weak, I want you to start doing this immediately. Try and do it 3 to 5 times a day. 10 sets of breathing, 10 sets with your chin on your chest, 10 sets with your feet off the floor, and then work into that rock. If you're suffering with low back pain and you want some relief, you have a family member, a co-worker, a friend who is suffering, hit the button at the bottom of this video, fill out the contact form, and I look forward to meeting you in the office.